Christopher Dunn, but I was learning about Christopher Dunn early 2000s, but he's like an engineer from the 90s that he claims there's like evidence that and we're talking about like chemical residue evidence inside of the Great Pyramids that possibly points to the fact that it was some type of power plant, which is crazy.
Giza power.
The Giza Plateau in
Did a highly advanced civilization exist in
Lower
prehistory?
Egypt.
Is the Giza Pyramid a remnant of their technology? Then, what was the power source that fueled such civilization? The technology of harmonic resonance.
That's a fun
claims
subject.
renowned
I'd love to talk
master
about that.
craftsman and engineer Christopher Dunn.
You need a whole podcast on harmonic resonance.
So I was just listening to on the PBD podcast, Steve. Oh, what's his name?
PBD, is that Valuetainment or is
Yeah.
that okay?
Yeah, Patrick Bet-David.
Patrick Bet-David.
He had
Because I always get it confused with Mike Baker's because he has a similar acronym that throws me off every time. But go ahead, Valuetainment.
No, he's on the show and he was talking about. So I was interested because I did solar, and he was talking about how right here so Steve Greer, Bombshell Energy Tech. He basically was talking about technology.
Stephen Greer.
Yeah, it's about to evolve to where we don't need solar panels. We don't need, this stuff. There's a power, I don't think he called it the nuclear power, but there's a form of power to where it's free. Everyone can use it, and it is unlimited.
That's exactly what you're talking. Excuse me. That's exactly where the harmonic resonance thing ties in. Okay, who was the original free energy, promoter?
I don't know.
Nikola Tesla.
Really?
Yes. It's called Wardenclyffe Tower. So the whole talk about the great Nikola Tesla, right? The great Serbian man who came to America and harnessed the power of Niagara Falls for hydroelectric power for the great city of, Chicago and whatnot, because, it was growing back then in the 20s and whatever. He comes over here, and he's a great mind. He's working for, Edison at first? Mm-hmm. Has a whole bunch of fucking shit happen. There's claims that, then he works for, was it Chase? Got to look at this. Morgan Chase or Westinghouse? No, not Westinghouse. Maybe Westinghouse. He builds Wardenclyffe Tower, which is supposed to provide almost what the internet was, but what it would be back then. It was supposed to transmit power to literally like aircraft that could collect the power from the tower. It would transmit information wirelessly. Okay, We're talking about way before Wardenclyffe Tower. Look it up. The foundation of Wardenclyffe Tower is still in New Jersey. It's still there. It was a huge tower. Again, that what it did was and forgive me, I'm not an academic, I'm not a scientist, but I can explain it in layman's terms. It like hijacks the ionosphere. Nikola Tesla claimed that the Earth itself was a power source, and the ionosphere is like all these electric, ions that you can harness, and you can send power and shit and transmit it all through there and take it. Look into HAARP, HAARP, though. It uses a similar type of technology to fuck with the ionosphere. That was a big, huge conspiracy theory back again when YouTube was good. I want to bring back the good YouTube when they gave us all that info for me to filter out what was good and bad.
So HAARP, scientific research facility that studies the ionosphere, the highest part of Earth's atmosphere.
Yes.
It's located in Alaska.
Studies.
Yeah. What does HAARP do? Studies the ionosphere properties and behavior. Yep. Investigates how radio waves interact with ionosphere. Studies the effects. Temporarily excites a limited area of ionosphere for scientific study.
So anyways, harmonic resonance, if you want to get to that goes big into earth waves, but if you want to get into smaller examples of harmonic resonance just in natural world, right? Now it's hybrid. It's a human built object that the engineers didn't take harmonic resonance into play when they built this bridge. Okay, look it up. It's crazy. This bridge looks like a wiggling a wiggling
I think
noodle,
I've seen it before.
right? And what's happening, this is like a small example of what harmonic resonance is and can do, is like if you hit a certain frequency just right of an object, you can literally dismantle it. You can do it with humans. Okay, there's these meters. I forget what they're called. They're like tone meters. And I learned about this in a physics class. And I actually wasn't in physics class. I never made it to physics. But there was a science teacher who was a physics teacher. And every now and then in our physical science class, he'd tell us a little bit about what he taught in physics. And one of it was they had this modulator, right? And it modulates tone. And it goes through fucking like every tone from ooh, even the shit you think you can't hear, whatnot, right?
Yep.
And he claimed, and I believe him, he claimed that everyone has a certain level of that tone that if you hit it just right, they're going to drop to the ground. They're going to drop to their knees. And it is true, because look up, like this. Long-range acoustic devices, LRAD. Okay, LRAD. The LRAD. Ooh, this is fun. So
I understand that because I'm a sales guy, and you use your tone to manipulate the person's brain almost.
Okay, that's getting into
so that's a little,
well, that's low frequencies are fear, high frequencies are
but it has, same
good
type
point,
of
good point. But this is more of like, I think on a molecular level, like where each person, like you're almost like a musical note that's perfect. Do you know what I'm saying? Every single person, we are individual in that sense.
Yeah.
Like fuck the fact that, whatever, it's like your body is a tone. It may even change.
Yeah.
They say the earth tone has a tone of like, I think it's A or something in space. Yeah. Again, that's the current. That's the shaking. That's the ionosphere. That's the.
So how do we harness it? Do they want to harness it?
Ooh, that's cool. That's what that's
Why
called?
would they harness it if they're
harnessing?
getting money from us for everything?
That would be, I think, it's called first level civilization. Okay, Isaac Asimov, I think a great science fiction novelist, he proposed that there would be certain types of levels of civilization in the future, and it would be based off of how you harness energy. The first level is someone that can harness all the energy of the planet they live on and utilize it somehow. That's what you're talking about. The second one is how you can harness all the energy of your, I think, the sun. Or your sun and your, because at that point you could do both, right? Yeah. And then the third is harnessing all the energy of your solar system. So you're talking about level 1 civilization, which we are so far off from coming for. But how do you harness that? And Nikola Tesla might have known. So some fun shit about Tesla. All his shit burnt down in like, I forget which country. So they claimed he had an earthquake machine. This might be far-fetched. This might be the only thing that's not like proven, but some machine you could put on the edge of a building, hit its harmonic resonance, and make it fall down.
Really?
They said he fucked around with shit like that and would cause earthquakes and shit when he was fucking around with shit. And it might make sense because there's proven fact when he was fucking around with electricity back in the day, I think it was in New Jersey as well, but he had this laboratory on a hill and he knocked out all their electricity, and they would look on the hill and they would see all these big, huge flashes of Tesla fucking things going, and he's walking around in a crazy like metal cage so he could like touch the electricity and stuff. Like you're talking about a genius, on the verge of maniacal, right? Because how was that harnessed, and what did he want to do? He was not maniacal. He got malevolent, and then they claim the bankers didn't know what his intention was, to give free energy to everyone.
Which they don't want.
Because you can't put a meter
people
on it.
Yeah.
They said you can't put a meter on that.
So it says, yes, a fire destroyed most of Tesla's lab in New York City on March 13th, 1895. The fire destroyed years of research, notes, patents, and experimental equipment.
Oh, this gets even better, right? Because after that, he still built and rebuilt everything, right? And he did everything he could. He refused to start from where he left off. He went back and rebuilt everything. So that proves that he didn't get as far as he could have. But you know who got everything after he died? And he died. A lonely pigeon lover at the top of like a fucking skyscraper.
Well, when you're
and
that,
he was broke. Who got all his stuff?
I don't know.
Who got all of his information, all his secret shit?
The government.
But who particularly?
I don't know.
Man who was like in the CIA. His last name's Trump. I can't remember it, but it's Trump's grandfather.
No way, bro.
Was at MIT. Look it up.
No
Look
way.
it up. Trump's family owns all of Tesla's secret information.
There's no... You know the irony of that? That would be so crazy.
Well, that's Elon Musk's theory. Is like, irony is the predictable thing, right? Like, expect irony. The most ironic things seem to be true. That's why cryptocurrency got big. That's why Doge specifically got big. And I'm talking about Dogecoin. And I fucked up. I had so much Dogecoin, and I sold it to make like $1,000.
Yeah.
When I could have made whatever. You could have.
No, yeah, could have, would have.
I would not be.
I had 175 million Shiba coin when it was 9-10 zeros, bro.
I know there's a lot of people out there like this.
Yeah, a lot.
But let's see. Here's the thing. Like,
it's a learning thing, though.
I can't be too down on myself because I won, right? I made a little bit of money, right?
So in early 1943, 2 days after the death of Nikola Tesla, the Federal Bureau of Investigation ordered the Office of Alien Property Custodian to seize Tesla's belongings. Trump was called in to analyze the Tesla artifacts, which were being held in government custody. After a 3-day investigation, Trump's report concluded that none of the artifacts would constitute a hazard in unfriendly hands.
All right.
Trump worked with...
And then if you don't know about it, look up the Baron Trump thing. Look up the book. Look up the book I was telling you about if you don't know about this. That predicts everything, almost like Nostradamus, okay? There's a book called Little Baron Trump or something, or Little the Last President. That's the